So Maple MAGA, aka Doug Ford, has crowned himself King of Ontario. This is something every Ontarian needs to know about because our province might start to look real different real soon if this brother of Toronto's former crackhead mayor turned premier starts using Bill 5 to its fullest extent. And you don't draft something like this unless you're planning to use it to its fullest extent. So, what does Bill 5 even do? It allows Ford to create something called special economic zones, which are basically lawless zones for corporations, foreign and domestic, it's up to Doug Ford to pick, work on projects without any consideration for the existing laws. He didn't mention this during his campaign. He simply kept on saying he's going to do away with red tape, do away with red tape. What we didn't know at the time was that red tape basically meant treaties and laws. But now that he's in office, thanks again to our apathetic voting base here in Ontario and our bullshit first past the post system, he's rammed this bill down our throats. And it was hugely unpopular. He was protested about it. It was polled and he was unpopular. And isn't it funny that when the protest got a little too much for him, he just started not showing up for in-person voting? It's just like conservatives to run away from this stuff while always acting tough and macho. I'm not a fan of Justin Trudeau. Say what you want about the guy, but at least he would take it on the chin if there were hecklers or protesters showing up to his events. Now that this thing is rammed down our throat, him and his goon party are going to be able to throw out provincial laws, maybe federal laws, environmental laws for sure, health and safety laws, human rights laws. It's basically the Dubai model with all of the grace of Donald Trump in execution. We're not quite at the place where we're stealing the passports of immigrants to make them work to death, but if that were to happen in a special economic zone, how would we even find out? Can these places be investigated? Are journalists allowed to go in there? I don't know. It feels like it's going to be one of those whatever goes in these places in the name of turning a profit, in the name of economic advancement. And what about the First Nations communities of Canada? They are not going to have any say on what happens in their territory if a special economic zone is put up there. They're going to have to just do whatever Doug Ford says. He's out there pretending like First Nation leaders have come begging him for like some chance to get in on his new economic expansion plans. Meanwhile, they're outside protesting this bill, saying that it is a power grab and does not benefit their communities, and also saying that if it comes to it, there might be conflict on the ground. Doug Ford and his goons are saying they have no interest in breaking any treaties or anything like that. But if that were the case, why would the bill allow for you to do so? He's playing in all of our faces like we're stupid. The guy didn't win with this as his mandate. He didn't even win by a majority. Sound familiar? He didn't even win by like half a majority when you do the numbers right. We are allowing this shit to happen for what reason? He is the guy who, in the name of economic expansion and bringing money into the province, allowed downtown Toronto to become littered with a bunch of condos that nobody wants to live in. There is a housing crisis in this province. There is an investor crisis in this city. A bunch of mom and pop landlords stuck with poorly built investment properties that nobody wants to live in. In the name of economic expansion, he was the one who allowed people to just come in from overseas and buy condo after condo after condo, hiding money here and, let's be honest, probably just laundering it through here to get spent somewhere else. Who even knows spent on what on? And now we have a bunch of shitty, tiny, poorly laid out bachelor and one-bedroom apartments all over this city that nobody wants to live in and nobody can sell because, once again, they are so poorly made. He has turned the skyline into some glassy hellscape, and that was when he had to follow the fucking laws. Now, what can we expect from this circus of a conservative party now that he suspended the rules for special economic zones? And he can just put them wherever, by the way. He keeps talking about having to fight Trump. You would think the man was the Prime Minister of Canada instead of the Premier of the province of Ontario. If Trump had done this tariff BS that united the country, if he had done that just a little bit sooner before the provincial elections, there is no way Doug Ford would have won, because the similarities are too fucking obvious. They're both power hungry, have no regard for the rule, are just taking what was established over decades and just tossing it out the window. It's very Trump. It's very Trump-esque. You don't even have to draw it's maddening. But now that he's there and he's put this through, all we can do is kind of watch, see what happens, see what the opposition is going to say. Hopefully somebody's going to go to bat for this province and fight back. I think we're going to leave it there. And the gem, I think I got everything. Bred in captivity, out.